Awesome. Oh, it's over
Right
here.
there.
All right, perfect.
Oh,
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so before we get started, does anybody have anything good to share? Not everybody all at once. Oh, Miss Herring, what you got?
I'm leaving on Sunday.
Where are you going, Miss Herring?
Cruise, I've talked about it enough. You all know that. I'm going on my first cruise ever.
That's
Pretty cool.
okay, very cool. 7 days?
Five
5 days. All right, let's give her a round of applause. I'll be super jealous. Nobody else in the room is jealous at all, Cindy. So, anybody else? I'll take. Yeah. What's up?
Hey, the Golden Pride of my daughter Ember and Ashley's son Joshua are in the Golden Pride, and we made straight ones and made it to area.
That
November
is
1st.
awesome.
Yesterday.
November 1st is when they go to area. Very
Yeah,
cool.
We're so proud of them.
I heard they looked really good.
We pushed out a big heavy speaker
Okay, and you're good.
together. It was fun.
And your good thing is you have 2 Saturdays off until then. There you go. Okay. Oh, that's a good thing. It's a good deal. Okay, well, I will go ahead and get started. Want to let y'all know that Dr. Jackson is here. He was going to present our bond presentation, which is we're doing at every school in the district, but he has let me go ahead and do that for y'all so that I can make sure that I have this experience as well. So I'm excited about that. I do want to, I'm going to carry my notes around a little bit just in case I need to refer to those, but I do want to let y'all know that as a district employee, I'm not advocating for or against, just presenting facts and letting y'all know information about the bond. So does anybody have anything before we get started? We ready to go? All right, good deal. So let's see. See if I can work this clicker. That'll be the first thing that we got to do. Okay, so here is the timeline. A lot of people have asked, why so soon? So in March 2024, Cleburne ISD met with the demographer who told us that our projections for growth were that we were going to grow quite a bit in the next 5 to 10 years. So we knew that we needed to figure something out. So a facility advisory committee was formed in October 2024. And then in January 2025, based on those committee meetings and decisions, CISD called for a bond. If you were here, you know that in May 2025, the bond failed and the Facility Advisory Committee reconvened. So one thing is that a lot of the same issues that were left unaddressed in the last bond obviously are still present. So there has been some changes and some additions to the new plan or the bond that's been called for in August 2025, but primarily a lot of the same things are in that bond as well. Still, the committee still felt that there was a need for that. Do you have anything to add on that? Or?
Yeah, and also just knowing that
Oh,
those
yep.
issues still exist, but also recognizing that there is, delaying the construction of a new cook
Yes.
or the Gerard is only going to increase the construction costs with inflation. We're looking at about 10% a year. Knowing that this is the growth is coming, trying to get out ahead of this before we're trying to react from the backside of the curve.
Absolutely, and also we had talked prior to this meeting that everybody knows that the Facility Advisory Committee is a very intentional committee made up of lots of different stakeholders from around the district. And what Dr. Jackson said is exactly right. Cost, I'm sure just in your regular life, costs just keep climbing. That's not something that's really stopped. So, okay, I am going to play the video real quick.
Independent School District is the proud home of the Yellow Jackets, a community of rich traditions and history. Generations of Yellow Jackets have walked our halls. The average age of the district's school buildings is 45 years old. The district is taking another step as we prepare for the next generation of Yellow Jackets. The Cleburne ISD Board of Trustees called for a $232 million bond in 3 propositions to address aging buildings, athletic upgrades, and district-wide technology. Bond 2025 will impact every student and staff member in Cleburne ISD. Prop A funds 2 new 750-student elementary schools, a 10-classroom addition, upgrades to Marty Elementary, and other facility upgrades. Prop A funds career and technical education equipment and upgrades, and an agriculture facility expansion. Prop A also funds safety and security upgrades, including playground updates and site fencing at several campuses. Prop B funds a new multi-purpose stadium for athletics and fine arts at Cleburne High School and the historical preservation of Yellow Jacket Stadium. Prop C funds district-wide technology devices, systems, and network upgrades. As a member of the Cleburne ISD community, you will have a direct impact with your vote. Proposition A addresses the district's aging facilities. Cook Elementary was built in 1952 and does not meet today's safety standards. With outdoor passing areas, students walk outside to use the restroom or go to the nurse's station. Many classrooms have an exterior door, which presents safety concerns. Parking around the school is not adequate for staff and enrollment, with cars often parking in the nearby streets. The plumbing is also 73 years old, and the toilets often clog. Girard Elementary was built in 1984. Its classrooms do not meet the Texas Education Agency standards. To accommodate its enrollment, Girard Elementary uses 2 portable classrooms that are 20 years old and nearing the end of their useful life. The cafeteria holds only 1 serving line. The campus lacks space for administration and special education staff, with some staff using custodial closets as work areas. Prop A funds the construction of 2 elementary schools. One new campus would replace Cook Elementary, and the other new elementary school would be located in the Girard Elementary attendance zone. Prop A funds the revitalization of the Girard Elementary campus to create an early learning center for preschool-aged children of district employees. Prop A funds a 10-classroom addition at Marty Elementary. In 5 years, enrollment at Marty Elementary is expected to reach 740 students. The campus was built to hold 500 students. If Prop A does not pass, the district may purchase up to 10 portable buildings, each costing $250,000 to accommodate the additional students at Marty. Portables can cost up to $250,000 and are purchased with M&O funds. Voter-approved bonds are paid from the dedicated funding source, which is different from the M&O fund used for teacher salaries and student programs. If approved by voters, Prop A would address growth without diverting dollars away from the classroom. Prop A funds career and technical education upgrades, including new equipment for health science technology and engineering program materials. The Cleburne ISD Agriculture Facility is 25 years old and lacks ADA-compliant restrooms. The parking lot is not paved, and vehicles get stuck in the mud. Prop A would fund an additional classroom, new poultry and cattle barns, upgraded pig barns, a show area, upgraded restrooms, and a paved parking and driveway. Prop B funds a new multi-purpose stadium at the practice field at Cleburne High School to create a new Yellow Jacket Stadium for athletics and fine arts. Yellow Jacket Stadium, often referred to as The Rock, where the Yellow Jackets currently play football, was built in 1942. It holds 3,500 spectators and has 142 parking spaces. The locker room is not large enough for varsity. The stadium area and press box are not ADA compliant, and visitors in wheelchairs have limited access to the stands. Prop B will fund a new 5,500-seat multi-purpose stadium at CHS, where the practice field is currently located. Spectators would have access to the high school parking lot, plus additional parking spaces funded through Prop B. Site plans include a new concrete plaza, field house with locker rooms and storage, home side concessions, restrooms, and a ticketing booth. Renovations could allow varsity football to be played at the stadium and open the field for additional use, including for fine arts competitions, soccer tournaments, and track meets. Prop B funds the historical preservation of the Rock, removing the structures on the visitor side of the stadium, including the restrooms, concession stands, and field house. Prop B will fund a new parking area at the Rock, along with restroom upgrades, new fencing, and stormwater retention. Prop C funds the cost of student devices, upgraded door security, and new public announcement systems for various campuses. Student devices are now 5 years old and at the end of their effective life cycle. Devices show signs of general wear and tear from daily use. Students experience disruptions and lose instructional time due to slower devices. Smith Intermediate and Marty Elementary Schools have PA systems that are more than 20 years old. The systems are unreliable and cannot be repaired as their components are no longer manufactured. PA systems are used in daily campus operations and student and staff safety procedures. District-wide door locking mechanisms are aging and failing from daily use. Some doors are not in compliance with TEA standards. Prop C will provide PA systems at Smith and Marty Elementary Schools for use during recess and student transitions. Prop C will also impact all campuses by upgrading secure card readers and auto-locking and unlocking door hardware that only authorized staff can enter buildings. If passed, the expected financial impact of the bond would be a savings of $39.64 a month for the average home of $231,000 in Cleburne ISD with a homestead exemption. This tax impact includes the most recent compression and assumes the additional $40,000 homestead exemption is approved by voters in November. The combination of compression and an additional $40,000 on top of the existing $100,000 homestead exemption will cut school property taxes for a homesteaded property. This would take effect in January 2026. Homeowners 65 years and older or disabled who have filed for and received a homestead exemption are not impacted by Bond 2025. They will also be voting on an additional homestead exemption on the November ballot, which would give them a $200,000 homestead exemption on school property taxes. If approved, homeowners 65 years or older or disabled could see a decrease to their school district taxes, but it would not exceed the frozen amount established when their exemption was granted, unless an addition or renovation was made to their home. Check your most recent notice of assessed value change to see if you will be impacted, or contact your local appraisal district for more information. With construction costs rising by up to 10% annually, the cost of these projects increases by at least $23.2 million each year that they are delayed, resulting in higher costs for Cleburne ISD taxpayers. Election day for Cleburne ISD's bond proposal is Tuesday, November 4th. Early voting is October 20th through the 31st. Registered voters can vote early at the Johnson County Elections Office, and weekend voting is available. More information on the bond is available on the district's website at c-isd.com/bond. And remember, go vote.
Okay, while I'm flipping back over to that, I did forget to say in the beginning, feel free if you need to take care of yourself to do that throughout this in case you didn't get a chance to. I know we have snacks, so that was the most important part. Alrighty. Oh, going the wrong way. Okay, so that is the amount of each proposition. Obviously, Prop A, containing lots and lots of stuff, which we'll take a deeper dive into in just a second, is the more expensive one, and then goes to Prop B and Prop C, and we'll talk a little bit more about those. Okay, first though, was there anything, before I get into this, because there was a couple things, was there anything in the video that anybody didn't know about the bond that they learned today? They didn't know was going to be covered by it or anything like that? So kind of had a pretty good idea? Okay, good deal. All right, so I went to, interesting fun fact, I went to Cook Elementary and my dad went to Cook Elementary. Did anybody else in the room go to Cook Elementary? Oh, I got some other Wildcats around here that went to Cook Elementary as kid. Who else? Was that Murphy? Ponce, did you raise your hand too? Heidi, and who else? Oh, Treadway too. Okay, well there we go. So you guys know the life of going outside and to go to the restroom every time you left your classroom or whatever in the outside. So okay, me too. Alrighty. So a little bit about Prop A. It would replace Cook Elementary School. It would be a new 750 student campus, 92,000 square feet. There would be a storm shelter. An international building code requires a storm shelter for schools that are over 50 in occupancy. So that's where that comes from. So any new school that's built since that building code will have the storm shelter. Specialized spaces including art, music, science, and a modern library. Expanded parking for staff and visitors, fencing, and new playground equipment. Okay, the question, what about Coleman? So once the new Cook campus is complete, Coleman students could temporarily move into the old Cook campus or the old Girard campus, allowing Coleman to be torn down and rebuilt in a future bond. Building a new campus takes about 2 years from start to finish. So they would potentially be, we have to have somewhere to put those students if we were to tear Coleman down, which is part of the reason it wasn't addressed in this bond. There's not a, I don't know, this might be a little bit of an opinion. I don't believe, there's not enough space near Coleman that's not in a floodplain, right? So it's all about land availability.
The only way to rebuild Coleman in its current location is to rebuild it on the exact same footprint that it exists. And so that
Right.
means relocating the entire campus while that project. So that's why the Facility Advisory Committee spent a lot of time talking about Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, this is kind of phase 2.
That's a plan would be.
Of the master plan. But phase 1 would be creating a swing space for that potential campus to move to, whether that would be freeing up an existing Cook Elementary or Girard, should this bond pass, and then you can address Coleman in the next phase.
Okay, all right. And so that does help if we were to if we were to build beside Cook, we could then have a space for those kiddos, or same with Girard, even though we have some land. I'll get to that. So next one, oops, oh man, I'm getting fancy. All right, and then another part of Proposition A is a new elementary campus at Girard, in their Girard attendance zone. This would be another 750 student campus, 92,000 square feet with the storm shelter, and then specialized spaces, same as new Cook campus. Expanded parking for staff, fencing, playground, and retaining walls. We do already have a space that had been purchased, kind of waiting on this. So
It's probably important to note there that University Drive is a major artery, and it will be completed by the time that this building would come online.
okay.
Should the bond pass, and so that University Drive, if you're familiar with the Bell Meadows neighborhood, so you have Surrey Place there, but University Drive is sort of the new major artery that would be serving the west side of Cleveland, kind of the new Nolan River.
Okay, so it would, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Where is, that's over there. I'll ask you that later, but it kind of like where it ends?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. All the way to the end of it, though. It's like deep in there. Okay, sorry.
And there's a lot of construction that's going on around that whole area, so there's a large neighborhood that's already served by Girard, and so a lot of those students that currently attend the current Girard are already in that neighborhood, so it actually would be
closer for
in
them.
some cases, it would be actually, the campus would be moving to a lot closer to those new homes that are being built in that Girard neighborhood.
Gotcha. Okay. Again, Proposition A, it's a long one. So this would provide additions and upgrades to Marty Elementary. It would be a 10 classroom addition with the storm shelter, fencing, and playground relocation and updates as needed. A lot of the projected growth is over on that west side of Cleburne. So that affects Girard and Marty's school zones. So lots of need there. They're projected to grow. Give me a number. It's like 2.
Yeah, Marty's going to be our fastest growing campus
Okay.
projected, and we're looking at probably being at 800 students
That's a bunch. All right. Okay, and then CTE expansion and ag facility upgrades. So 2 programs that do really well in Cleburne. CTE lab equipment upgrades in culinary, diesel tech, AV tech, agriculture science, engineering, and health science. New poultry and cattle barn, new arena with a classroom, restrooms and concession area, small animal building renovation, new paved driveway, parking lot, site drainage, and waste management. So lots and lots of new, lots of upgrades in comparison to what we are currently working with as far as ag is concerned. And then CTE is continuing to grow and needs some stuff. Okay. More Proposition A. So this is one that I wanted to talk about because it's something that actually really affects Adams, us, our students, our families, things like that. So we would be in this Proposition A for fencing upgrades, playground updates, and same for Coleman, Irving, Santa Fe, and Smith. So I feel like our playground has been around for a little while, so I see Ms. Geltmeyer shaking her head, so I think that would be something that would benefit our students as well. And then safety reasons, I think fencing is probably something that would be beneficial to our kiddos. More Proposition A. So the plans for Girard is to make it an early learning center, which would benefit staff and people that wanted to take their kiddos to start a little earlier. They would have interior and exterior upgrades to meet state daycare standards and removal of portable buildings and fencing. So the portable buildings that we have don't have a lot of life left in them. So that might, the reason they're getting rid of those and having some upgrades to the school is it's just not what's, maybe safe and up to the standards that we need. Okay, life cycle maintenance upgrades, another item that might affect some of you. Renovations to address facility conditions and life cycle needs at campuses, including but not limited to HVACs, roof replacement, structural needs, and safety upgrades. So another thing to be thinking about for our students and staff here at Adams. Okay, so moving on, I told y'all Prop A was a long one. So Prop B is the athletic upgrades. So anytime that you have a new stadium in a bond that has a large capacity or a certain amount of people that it can occupy, you must have a separate proposition, which is why this is separated. And so what this one includes is a new 5,500 capacity steel stadium with aluminum seating, new field house, locker rooms and storage, new stadium 2-story press box, home side concessions, restrooms, ticket booth and storage, new sports lighting, new concrete plaza and walkways, and relocated pole vault and triple jump. So a lot of people are asking the question, why new and not a renovation? Our current stadium, does anybody want to guess when our current stadium was built? Yeah, in the 40s. So 42. That's what it said in the video, huh? Yeah. I'm just checking to make sure y'all are paying attention. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Y'all are awake. Good job. So it's not ADA compliant, and it actually would probably cost the district more money to renovate than it would to build new. We also have the situation with parking. If you've been to a game, the parking is hard, and we do have a place at the high school that's kind of already got the infrastructure that is necessary for a new stadium. Do you have anything to add, Dr. Jackson?
It's not. They have put estimates, and I want to say it's almost 2 times the cost.
Oh, so not probably, definitely more expensive.
I think they were talking upwards of like $70 million, and you still don't solve the parking. The mall, the strip mall that's next to us, where Macy's is, they lease us their parking lot, and right now. Should for some reason in the future that they were ever to say no, we would be in a tough spot with parking for games.
For games.
Because the only parking spots that we have is just those 142 spots that are out front.
Gotcha.
So that obviously does not, that's not sufficient.
No, that's not quite, especially when you've got high school students wanting to drive to the games.
Just minor upgrades to the rock, because once you start to do any kind, then you have to bring the entire, and it's so far out of compliance with ADA. You've got, there's no elevator access. We had a coach from an opposing team that needed to go up to the press box, and he was like in crutches, and I felt he had to like get up the stairs, and a lot of schools have elevator access to the press box, and obviously he had to just so there's ADA issues with our current facility. And if you are in a wheelchair, there's that one ramp, and you got a couple of selections, but you're literally almost at ground level, and you can't really see.
I was going to say, the complaint that I have heard is that even if you are able to attend, that it's hard to even see and cheer on your people if you yeah. All right. Okay. So sound system, this is just more about that. Sound system and large video board, new concrete and parking, site work, ornamental fencing, graphics and signage, and then landscaping. Okay, so question, what are we going to do with the rock? So I think that this, obviously, if you've been here for a while, you've talked or you've heard about, the historical significance of the rock. But the facility advisory committee has a plan for that. So their plan is to preserve Yellow Jacket Stadium, remove the south side external buildings, provide a green space, additional south side parking, walking path. So over there where all those buildings are and the visitor side of the rock, they would add additional parking so that more people could visit. Potentially Pee-wee games, and then stormwater retention, and maybe a turf field depending on the drainage impact. So we would still have the rock and then hopefully make it something that the community could utilize. Okay, on to Prop C. So essentially Prop C is keeping up with technology and what our students are doing in the classroom. So the technology upgrades would include PA system replacement at Marty and Smith. So I worked at Marty prior to here, and they're still using the push button microphone, or they were. So instead of being able to pick up the phone in either Geltmeyer I's office or Miss Davis's office, they're having to go into the room and push the little microphone button, which is pretty inconvenient if you need to get to that space in a safety emergency or something like that. So I understand why they would need to replace that or want to. Outdoor PA system expansions at other CISD campuses. I know that most of us know that if we make an announcement, you cannot hear it when you're out at recess, which then is the inconvenience of which, it's inconvenience is fine. We can do whatever we need to do for safety, but is trying to make the announcement on the phone, make the announcement on the radio in hopes that somebody has the radio, make the announcement on Parent Square or whatever other form of communication we had if PA systems were extended out to the outside, that would kind of reduce that, the need to do all of those things. Student devices, our devices are like 5 years old-ish, and I think we are seeing the wear and tear on those. Networking upgrades, CHS and CTE computer lab upgrades, and then campus security upgrades. So talking tax impact. So I'm going to kind of read through this. The property tax impact associated with the $232 million bond for Cleburne ISD based on an average home value of $231,000. With a homestead exemption, your taxes would potentially decrease $475.66 per year, which equals about $40 per month if all three propositions are approved by voters this November. Without a homestead exemption, you will see an increase of $23 per year. The impact includes the most recent compression and assumes the additional $40,000 homestead exemption is approved in November. The combination of compression and additional $40,000 on top of the existing $100,000 homestead exemption will cut school property taxes for a homesteaded property and would take effect in January of 2026. So wanted to just clarify here too that it adds to the tax debt, but with all the new businesses and houses, our tax base has increased, and it saves individuals from paying more. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, I want to make sure. Is that?
Yeah, and exactly. In the ballot by state law reads that this is a property tax increase, and it is like you are taking on additional debt, so there's truth to that.
Right.
But because the community is growing, you have new businesses, you've got a new Amazon facility that's coming in, you've got new homes, the tax burden is, the capacity of that debt is spread out over a larger, capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that even with all three propositions passing, the district will be able to lower the tax rate in order to pay that debt.
Okay, gotcha. No, and we all know Jackson's the numbers guru too, so that's not my. No, okay, yeah, no, there is a difference. There is a difference. He's like, wait a minute. Okay, what I'm calling you a guru about? Okay, I will. I'll do better. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so early voting. The October 6th date has passed, but early voting starts next Monday on October 20th through Friday, October 24th from 8 to 5, Saturday, October 25th from 8 to 4, Monday, October 27th through Wednesday, October 29th from 8 to 5, and Thursday, October 30th through Friday, October 31st from 7 to 7. And it happens at Johnson County Elections Building on 103 South Walnut. It used to be the old Browns Gym. If you're from here, you kind of know where that's at. Okay, Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And here is a list of the places that you can vote based on precinct. Okay, where you live.
And we talked about this last night when we had the parent. I'm thinking ours would be the Heights Church because that's.
Yeah, if you live in.
I mean, right? I mean,
yeah,
we
for
were
your
thinking about that.
parents.
If our parents and stuff,
Yes.
the ones that live here,
Right.
because I think some of them were saying last night that they've never been there to vote.
Yeah, you have to look at your voter card and it tells you, you go on and they'll tell you what precinct.
That's why you should just do the early vote.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just all at one spot.
It is quicker, right? I did want to note that for Adams employees, we're not telling you what to do, but if you would like to go vote, we want to make sure that you have the time to do that. So we will help make arrangements for that if you can't make that happen during your conference or something like that, and you want some help from us, we'd be happy to help you make sure you're able to do that as well.
Just as a point of reference, there are 21,000 registered voters in Cleveland ISD. There were less than 3,000 votes cast in the last election. So you've got 18,000 registered voters that are sitting on the sidelines. Whatever they may feel about this proposition, whether they vote for or against it, but there's 18,000. The majority of voters, registered voters, are not even making their voice heard.
Yep. So make sure that your voice is heard, because I think that's important. If regardless of how you're going to vote, just get out there and vote. All right. So if you have a question or need an answer, I actually have gotten on this website recently just to kind of poke around and see what questions other people are asking. So make sure if you want to visit this website, it's super easy, www.c-isd.com/bond. They couldn't have made it much easier to remember, so that's good. And then if you have anybody else that's curious and wants to know more, that video is online and they can watch it there or look at the frequently asked questions like I did. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So it's obvious that it's very important. I mean, it's a need, not a luxury, I feel like, to house our students. What happens if it doesn't pass? Where do those 800 and something students end up? What happens to all the new kids that are, I mean, they have to go to something. What's the plan?
As we, if, yeah, that was the solution. We would just, especially if those, Marty, Gerard, I mean, that it would be portables. And
Like those buildings can't go on forever.
right, yeah. And
I mean-
if we're adding, if Marty grows to 700, 800 students, like it's projected to with all the new construction going out that direction, yeah, the only solution is just adding portables. Without a bond to give us resources to build a new add-on to that campus. Same thing with Girard and that neighborhood that's growing. So all three of these campuses would be brought up to 750 students. That's on purpose because the districts have had a lot of conversations about not going beyond 750 for an elementary campus. I mean, that would be the maximum capacity we feel comfortable. If we're ever having a discussion of going over 750, we're probably looking at adding an 8th elementary and potentially rezoning at that point. Yeah.
And then that's kind of what I was going to say too. I mean, I was going to say that, but then adding to what Dr. Jackson said, I was looking that up too, and it's a little disheartening or a little disappointing, but if the bond package doesn't pass, you're exactly right. We have to have somewhere to help house these kids. So we have to start using some of our maintenance and operations budget, which with school finance, you have two different buckets, maintenance and operation and interest and sinking. So the maintenance and operations budget that currently goes to just everyday maintenance and then teacher salaries and all that good stuff, we would have to start dipping into those potentially to have portables that work for our students and things like that. Am I on the right track with that?
I think the going rate for a good portable classroom is about $250,000, and so that's getting it on site, established, and all of that. So if you're looking at adding 4 portable classrooms at Marty, it's $1 million.
Oh my goodness.
Or Girard or Cook.
Anywhere, yeah, okay.
Dr. Jackson, how come they're not rezoning before even doing that? Why would they spend that when we have campuses with extra rooms right now?
That's has been discussed. There is a part, you don't want to move kids too far away. And so that has been discussed, and ultimately that is a school board decision. If you're taking out large chunks of land and then moving them, transporting them all the way across town when they're only, you're rezoning them to a school that's 5 miles away when they have a school that's 1 mile away, or sometimes that's really close. That there's some, concern, but there is some things there that could be done potentially, but I know that I don't think that you're going to solve with the amount of growth that's going in that northwest area. Rezoning them to let's take Marty for example. With all the growth that's going into Marty, where do you rezone them to? I mean, you could rezone them to Cook. Cook is almost at functional capacity right now. I mean, unless you're just pulling them all the way around to Irving or Adams or something like that. I mean, that's now you're rezoning large So there's a little bit of balance there with, you know, small rezoning is, but if large-scale rezoning, that, you know, that would be a potential solution that you could look at if the bond were to fail. I know that becomes very unpopular, though. There's a lot of people have some really strong opinions about rezoning. And so that is, when we're talking about established neighborhoods that have belonged to an elementary, you know, neighborhood for a long time, and now you're telling them that they have to go to another school, you get, I mean, you're gonna fight some political battles in your community for that. Yeah. And ultimately, that is at the school board decision, you know, about that. They would have to settle, they would have to make those decisions.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Good questions.
So who determines and how do the people determine the bond project?
Okay, so kind of what we talked about earlier, the Facility Advisory Committee is made up of parents, made up of educators, community leaders, neighbors, everybody that we can think of that's a stakeholder for the district comes together and they study priorities, demographics, projections from the people, the demographers that we hire to figure out, you know, what does it look like? What does growth look like for Cleburne ISD? There was 30 members in our facility advisory committee, and it included just community members, parents, leaders, and district employees. They studied the age and lifespan of existing school facilities, and then safety and security, and then they kind of make a plan and provide insight and recommendations to the Board of Trustees and to the superintendent. Do you have anything to add on that either, or I mean, did I cover?
Ultimately, the school board makes the final decision on whether to call for the bond,
Mhm.
but they rely on the advice of the facility advisory committee, which has had that series of meetings all through last fall, and then re-met after the May election, took another look at, you know, the facility concerns, the aging buildings, and then decided to re-recommend that. So ultimately, that advisory team is the facility advisory committee that's driving those, making those recommendations to the board.
Mhm.
But the board is the one that's ultimately
The ones that say.
the one that either that calls for and agrees with, or potentially even modifies what the recommendation from the facility advisory committee.
Okay, so they can take it and then make.
They can.
They could modify, which I'm sure they rely heavily on them because they've collected the data and had the discussions and all that stuff. But okay, all right.
So y'all said that if the bond passes and then they decide to do the new one for the Coleman building, they would move Coleman kids to Cook, but we're getting kids out of there because it's not up to date for them. So would they?
Yeah, there's been some discussion about Cook. It actually may be more feasible to move them to Girard. It's actually probably a little closer. I know Cook was at one time discussed, but it would be just a temporary 2-year placement, and that would be in the next proposal. Yeah, but Girard has been discussed, which will probably be the most feasible option for them to move to. Yeah.
And I was going to say the good thing about that is that Coleman likely is not going to experience a lot more growth because of its placement. Like there's not a lot of growth happening around the Coleman school zone.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the Coleman, you know, attendance
Area.
zone there's no new development
Right.
in that attendance zone.
Okay.
So it's a pretty established neighborhood, and so it's very Coleman is probably the most
Predictable. That's kind of what I was
student
thinking.
campus
Right.
that we have.
Because it's like right in the center.
Yeah, because it's kind of already, it's very established. So yes, and so we know that neighborhood, you know, is going to give us about 450 kids pretty steadily every single year, in which they've kind of held pretty steady with that.
Okay. All right.
But it, you know, that it is the same age as Cook. So
It is, yep.
But the only way to rebuild that campus is to do it, on the exact same spots where the current one exists.
Okay. And I think Ms. Treadway has a question. I do wonder, are they planning on potentially making Coleman, because of where it's located, it's planned maybe to be or have they not got there, but like a 2-story building? Is that kind of,
Yes.
is that a thought?
Yeah, that's been a thought to.
Okay.
Potentially go 2 stories. Of course, there's been no architectural designs
Right.
on that, but there is that has been discussed as maybe making that 2-story.
Okay. All right.
So 750 elementary students is a lot.
Yes.
I've worked at one that's that large. Has anyone on this committee gone and looked at the health of that type of campus when it gets that large?
Yeah, and that's where we have decided that's the maximum that we would go. If we that was actually brought up in the facility. I've actually seen, believe it or not, I've actually seen a district that went 1,000 students with an elementary campus.
It's crazy.
To me, I think 750 is I agree is a lot. That is the
And I'm talking behavior.
yeah.
It gets up.
Right, and of course, with that many, you would have to, more support staff and things like that. So would have to be added. You're probably, looking at some additional, help and support with a campus that large. But that would be the absolute maximum.
And multiple assistant principals.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I hear you. As one of those herself.
That would be a discussion. Once we hit, if that were to happen, I think that's a very that's a good discussion to have. So I am not saying that that's not a real possibility. And I would support that for sure.
Yeah, no, I know.
It affect us, but it
Mm-hmm.
does affect our community.
Some really strategic planning on how to do that too, because I know like with Smith, I think they've benefited from like really looking at teams and teaming and things like that too. So that'd be something you'd need to consider there, like pods or teams or whatever, how that looks. So, okay. All right.
What was the last bond passed?
Last bond was passed in 2021, and it was completed ahead of schedule and under budget. So that is another thing that I had seen. What all did we accomplish with the 2021 bond? I kind of looked it up, but
Finished out the renovations
Of
with
the
of the Performing Arts Center.
okay,
So the exterior was touched in the 16 bond that
yes,
was the new high school and the new CTE, but nothing was ever done to the interior of the Performing Arts Center. So that readdressed the Performing Arts Center. You had the complete renovation of Wheat Middle School, and then Smith got some renovations as well. Obviously not to the extent that Wheat did,
mm-hmm.
but there was a lot of changes done to Smith to make that ready for intermediate campus.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you have.
I'm just thinking, I was talking last night at our bond meeting, and it maybe was up here, but I can't remember. They did talk about when Girard, if it's renamed or it changes, what the Girard is now.
Oh.
We had talked about that.
Yeah, that's
If we
actually,
get the new
so the board is actually going to discuss that at Monday night's meeting. There's
okay.
so there's some
talk.
some decisions on whether when you move a campus and I mean, does the Girard name stay with that current campus, or does the Girard name go, if the bond were to pass, to the new campus? I know
Yeah.
how I feel, but that's
Right,
but that's the board is going. That's a decision for the board, and the board is actually going to discuss that on Monday night.
But they are going to make if Girard, if we build a new one, the one that's there now, it's going to work as like a child care facility, or was that talked about
Yes,
for employees?
matter of fact, that is the primary thought of. There's some ideas tossed around doing some other things with it too, but one of the primary things with that campus, in addition to if that is for potential swing space for the new Coleman, but also a district daycare, which for staff and employees. We have talked about this for a long see this as a great recruitment tool and retention tool for teachers, especially with young families, to have an option for them that's in district.
So will it only be for district employees? Is that the thought right now?
That is well, that is for sure what's been.
Okay, for sure what's been discussed.
I mean, in addition to potentially some other uses.
I just wondered even about students, like
Yes,
potentially like
there
high school
has been
students.
talk- We have thrown around, even a 3-year-old pre-K, that, the state does provide some funding and options for students that qualify for that. But the district is not committing to that yet. The one thing that the district has said is wanting to have use that facility for a district child care center.
Okay. All right. Well,
Our name moved with us, remember?
Yes.
Yes, we used to, our
That's
name did
true.
move, and
Yeah.
I do know there were some, I know people that their kids went there, they went there, we have kids that are there, they're teachers now, and I know it sticks with them, and it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I think if we follow the pattern with Santa Fe, Irving, Adams, the name would probably move with the new campus. There was just some this just brought up, some people, again, that's just a discussion. Yeah.
You really
yeah,
can't.
So, but I think that, having, my personal opinion is, I kind of, it makes, to me, not saying how you feel about this, but I think the Girard name, it makes more sense to move it with the new campus, just so that people still identify that as Girard Elementary that's in the Girard attendance zone. It's not some new campus, so, I mean, I think that, I don't know, there's some.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the long-established families that you were talking about will appreciate that because, they're like, my kids have always gone to Girard, and now they're.
Girard's teachers and staffers like, well, we spent a lot of money over there buying Girard stuff.
T-shirts, yeah. T-shirts are important to teachers. They're important to me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank y'all. Thank you, Dr. Jackson, for answering the hard questions. I appreciate that. And just wanted everybody to be well informed on the bond.